Hey friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Vaibhav. Today I'll be talking about relationships from the perspective of 6 human needs. I covered 6 human needs in part 1 of this series in depth, and in case you have not seen it already, I will leave a link for it in the description box, so don't miss on it. But this video is about meeting the need of your partner, and all the principles which we will discuss here can be applied to anyone whom you get in touch with, be it your friend, your colleagues, or your neighbors, or anyone. Now, what would meeting the needs of your partner actually mean? The perspective of 6 human needs entirely changes when you look at it from a perspective of a relationship. So certainty would actually mean that you make your partner feel certain. You make your partner feel safe and secure. Your partner should be able to trust you with everything. Now, meeting the need of uncertainty would mean that you bring enough surprises, challenges, variety to their life. Meeting the need of love and connection would be that you make them feel loved. Meeting the need of significance would mean that you make them feel special in every moment. You don't criticize them. You make them feel important and valued in your life and every decision which you take. You take their opinion. Then they would feel significant. Meeting the need of growth would actually mean that you try and understand what and how do they want to grow. And then you help them grow in those areas. Now, when you focus on meeting the need of contribution for your partner, it would actually mean that in your life, you give your partner an opportunity to contribute and do something for you. Once you create that space and opportunity especially, then your partner would feel good about herself or himself that they were able to do something for you. I believe understanding the needs from a perspective of your partner, how you can meet those needs, you can definitely work on making your relationship more deep and meaningful. So here you will find the outline of this video. So feel free to skip around to the areas which interest you. Now let's get started. Why do relationships fail? One thing you will find common for any couple who regularly fight or are not able to have a very deep and meaningful relationship is they have some sort of difference. They have a conflict and then they don't know the best way how to manage that conflict and effectively resolve it. This leads to unresourceful behaviors, which is not really good for their relationship eventually. Now just think about yourself. When you had any conflict with any other individual, what was your first emotional response? Was it anger? Was it frustration? Was it sadness? Was it depression? We as humans are triggered by different emotions at different times in our life. One conflict can make you angry, other might make you sad. Now this emotional response is common across all humans. We all tend to get angry or sad, and if we have to put our emotional response to any conflict, it would fall under the broad categories of anger and sadness. Now what triggers anger? Now if you remember in part 1 we discussed that anger is our way of feeling significant and certain in that moment. Once you get angry, you are immediately the center of attention amongst everyone around you. That makes you feel significant. And that also can give you certainty because that makes you feel more certain in that moment about what you want in life. So if in that moment in your life you have your need of feeling significant or certainty and you are not getting those, you will get angry. But in moments when you want love and you want uncertainty and variety in life, you will take the path of sadness if you happen to get into a conflict. Because sadness is a way of loving yourself. So when you love yourself with the emotional response of sadness, you meet your own need of love and connection with yourself, and it also gives you an emotional variety which fulfills your need of uncertainty. Now let's go to a drawing board and understand what actually happens when you get into a conflict with your partner. Now in any given moment, we are either fulfilling our need of certainty or uncertainty, and love and connection or significance. We are in this endless loop of certainty and uncertainty and significance and love and connection all the time. Now once you get into a conflict, the emotional response from both the partners of anger or sadness would be driven by in which cycle of emotion or need for fulfillment you are into at that point. Now once we get into a conflict, we start fulfilling our own needs which were not met because of the conflict. While the actual way to resolve this would be actually to focus on meeting the needs of our partner. The thing is, we are in so much pain because of this issue or the differences which we have with our partner that we tend to forget that in those moments we are actually not focusing on the needs of our partner as well. And that's the key here. So let's dive into the secret of relationship. You create a deep and meaningful relationship by meeting all the 6 needs of your partner. The more the needs you meet, the deeper the bond and love you have with your partner. Tony Robbins says, if you are in a relationship with somebody and you meet one of their needs, you are going to have an acquaintance. If you meet 2 of their needs, you are going to have a friend. If you meet 3 of their needs, you are going to have a deep friendship or love. If you meet 4 of their needs, it's going to be a deep love. If you meet 5 or 6 of their needs, you are going to have a love slave. They ain't going anywhere. Now, to make any relationship work, there is a simple two-step formula. Step 1 would be that you constantly focus on your partner's needs. You understand what his or her needs are, what their primary needs are, and what are the behaviors in which they get into to meet those needs. So I talk about myself. I'm married for more than 5 years now, and over these years I observed that my wife is more of a person who believes in taking action. Once she has an opportunity or a target, she would start doing things without much planning. I'm more of a person who likes to plan, detail things out, have to-do lists, but not my wife. So whenever I was trying to help my wife, I observed that she gets frustrated and held back when I go to that task with my approach. And then I understood that I was actually trying to meet my own need of certainty, to have a to-do list, have a detailed plan, and not her way, where she feels more certain by the progress she makes by taking action. And this is where, because those were her goals, her targets, then I started following her approach. No plans, you don't want a plan, you just want to go ahead and take action, I'll do that for you. When I started focusing on the need for certainty in the way and the behavior of not planning too much, getting into action, she was happy. The point I'm trying to make is that the step 1 is that you have to look at things from your partner's perspective. They might have a different way of meeting certainty. You might think that their primary need is certainty, but they might achieve it in a different way. Now, the step 2 is that you help your partner understand what your primary needs are and what kind of behaviors help you fulfill them. So again, in my case, I have been passionate about learning and improving for a long time. And early in my relationship, I mentioned this to my wife. I told her that I need some time to focus on myself. If I don't do that, if I don't study something, if I don't learn something new, then I don't feel that I'm growing. In those moments, I fulfill my need of intellectual growth. My wife understood this, and since then, she gives me enough space and time where I can fulfill this need. I was able to do so because I applied step 2 here, and I was able to help my wife understand what my primary needs are. One of them is growth, and how I meet them. And once she understood that, and I was already covered from a perspective of the step 1, I was meeting all of her 6 needs in the way she wants them, and that helps your relationship to be more meaningful. Now, the most important question is, once you have a conflict, because I also have those moments, I still have conflicts, and we have moments where we differ from each other. How do you handle those conflicts? And the answer is that your emotional response in those moments would stay to be either of anger or sadness, and that's fine. In those moments, you need to study what is the emotional response coming out of your partner. In case he or she is feeling angry, there is a fair possibility that they are feeling insignificant or uncertain because of that conflict. And as a partner, because you want to fulfill their needs now, that's your new approach. What you need to do is you need to clarify that there is a difference, but the intention is not to make them feel insignificant. And in case that conflict is creating uncertainty, you need to clarify and give them some points which make them feel more certain. Now I would invite you to rate your relationship with your partner. This is the interesting part. Exercise is very simple. Take a piece of paper and write your 6 needs. Then you write the needs of your partner as per your understanding. And if possible, ask your partner to also do the similar exercise with you. So what you will have is 2 lists. One would be a list of your own needs in the priority sequence in which you look at them. And second would be your partner's needs as per your assumptions, what you think your partner's top needs are. Then on a scale of 10, you rate yourself on each of those 6 needs. So this would mean that firstly you rate your needs, how much you think your partner is meeting on a scale of 10, how much your partner makes you feel significant, loved, certain, uncertain, and then you rate yourself from a perspective of how much you think your partner is meeting their needs from you. Now, if you share your results with your partner, the first great insight you will have is if you assumed your partner's need in the right sequence or not. If you did, that's a great job. In case you didn't, you know it now. Now, the second thing would be that you will have a score for each of these needs, how many of those are being met. And you might find that there is a gap, and there would be some needs which either you or your partner is not meeting for each other. And once you understand that gap, that is an opportunity to make your relationship more deep, more meaningful, more passionate. So the key to a great relationship is having absolute clarity on what your needs are and what your partner's needs are and how you both meet them. Once you do that, there is no stopping. You can meet each other's 6 needs and have a great bond. So if you enjoyed this video and you gained some value out of it, Please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on similar content in future. And do like and share with your friends. And I would like to know what your top needs are. I will leave in the comment section below what mine are, and I would be keen to know what yours are. So see you in the next video. Bye.